Welcome to CWS Christian Writing and Speaking. I'm your host, Jackie Wilson, and today's guest was on track to open a high end day spa, but God had different plans. She learned that corporate anything and her did not go well together. It was more like Batman and Joker. She quickly pivoted, got scrappy, and bootstrapped a marketing business that now earns $10,000 per month. But the truth is, starting her business was not easy. It was messy, despite entrepreneurship running through her veins. And she says she is a person who has undeniable passion for freedom, along with a few unforgettable girl power stories. And that led her to create a better way for female entrepreneurs. Now she's on a mission to light others' paths, making it easier for women to start businesses. Let's welcome to the CWS stage, Miss Francie Hinrichsen. Did I get it right?
You got it right, Jackie. Thanks so much
Yay!
for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear this story anytime, we have plans and God said, you're not going that way. It always piques my interest to find out more about the story. So can you share with the audience what happened?
I sure can. Sure, there's been a theme in throughout my career. In the beginning, there was this need for control to figure everything out, to have every piece of the puzzle laid exactly right. And that was me, right? I was laying those pieces. I was deciding what was next. And over the course of the last 7 years, I my faith has grown and I have been able to pray a prayer. God, what's next? Where are we going? What can I do? How can I use my hands and feet and voice and mind to execute your plan?
Mm.
And so when I graduated from business school, I had plans to open up a high end day spa. And the reason I say God had different plans is because my boyfriend at the time, now husband, lived in Atlanta, Georgia. And that was the perfect market to open up a high end day spa. And he ended up taking a job back in his hometown in central Illinois. Not quite the market I had in mind for a high end day spa. And so I moved here. I got a job in the corporate world managing a medical day spa and quickly found out that what I needed as a person to thrive in that role was not the way God wired me.
Mm.
And I really had to do a lot of soul searching to figure out what is it that brings me satisfaction. And initially, starting a business was a means to an end. This was about 2014, 2015. And I did not have the strength. I did not have the confidence. I was so worn down from this corporate experience. I didn't want to go out and work for someone else. And so I started a business. I was, single at the time and had to create my own way. And so I did. And I would say during that period, very much still trying to be in control of the
Mm.
outcomes. That business morphed into more of a marketing, data and analytics, audits, web design. And so it has been a beautiful journey to watch that evolve. But it has also led me to a few other endeavors. And one of those is founding females.
Yeah, can you tell us about founding females? Because it's for women who want to become entrepreneurs.
It is at any continuum. We support women who are thinking about getting started. We support women who are in the middle of entrepreneurship. And then we support women who, they're well on their journey, they're well seasoned, they've got proof of concept in their business. So anywhere along the continuum, founding females walks alongside them in their journey. But we're a fellowship for females, helping them into and through entrepreneurship.
I love that. And you not only help females in that aspect, you're also an author and a speaker. Can you tell us a little bit more about those different
Sure.
endeavors?
Sure. So this is what we're talking about now is where I began giving it up to God and saying, what's next? How can I use what I have to positively impact other people? And when I started writing the book, Founding Females wasn't even born yet, but I knew I had this message. I had stood on the shoulders of other mentors, business owners, other women who supported me and helped carve out my path. And I wanted to pour that into other women who were the next generation of entrepreneurs. And so the book writing happened over the course of 18 months. And in that time period, Founding Females was born. We created a brand. We started, we rebranded some of the things that we already had in the works, like a mastermind. And so giving Founding Females, giving this message its own voice and personality was really an integral piece in helping spread the message and getting the book out as well. They go hand in hand really well. So the book is called Dream, Build, Grow, a female's step-by-step guide for how to start a business. And I didn't want to reinvent the wheel with this book. I've got tons of books on my shelves that talk about starting a business, and they're all great. But what I noticed is a lot of them talk about the what to do, almost like a checklist. They don't talk about the how, or more importantly, the why. Why are we doing this? And so I want to help pour into the next generation of entrepreneurs so they can become good decision makers, not just create this business that is, doing well and they're not quite sure why. But I want to pour into them the knowledge of the decisions that we're making from ideation, from the time that they have this business idea they're thinking about starting, all the way to profiting and selling, or excuse me, scaling, and eventually selling. The idea is to, create an entity. We talk about creating assets, not paychecks. And so the idea behind that is create something not just that pays you every week or every month, but something that it has inherent value in and of itself. You could pass along. It could become your kids' education. It could become, your retirement. And so we talk about how to do that throughout the book. And so it takes readers through 6 steps. They clarify their idea. They then move on to research. Then they move on to actually building. And this is the phase that a lot of entrepreneurs jump straight into, building the website, building the brand, building the social media presence. But there's a lot of things that we can do to set us up for success before that. So the 3rd phase is build. The 4th phase is launch. And then we go into profiting. We talk about profit strategies. And then we end with scaling. So scaling the business up if females want to. And one of the things that is on my heart is to help women create a business around their life and not a life around their business. Yeah. Because we leave the corporate world, and the joke is that you could work 40 hours for somebody else, or you could work 100 hours for yourself. And what we want to do is recognize that women have very unique roles. We are the nurturers, we are the caretakers, whether it's for kids or parents. We serve the community, and we want to build businesses that work for women's lives so they can be home for snuggles, or so that, if we do a local meetup, they can feel comfortable bringing their kids to that meetup, knowing that this is life for women. This is, we don't have to separate our professional lives from our personal lives and pretend like we don't have a 3-year-old who's throwing a tantrum. And so we welcome that. We're highly inclusive, call it embracing radical inclusion. And so any woman, any background, any stage of entrepreneurship can feel comfortable coming and being in community with Founding Females.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I hope you're listening, audience. She's trying to help you all. So my question for you is, what's next for you? You've built the masterminds, you've written a book, you have the program. What is the next big dream for you?
Thanks for asking that. So with my first business, it took several years to get proof of concept. And as you know, anytime you do something a second time, the learning curve is a little bit shorter. And so I don't know why I didn't expect it, but we got proof of concept with Founding Females very early. And so I kind of, it felt like it was like fast forward. And so we have in-person events. We threw our first event back in March, aligned with International Women's Day here in Peoria, Illinois, and we drew 160 attendees. We have a startup community and a mastermind. We have the book, and then we also have a 6-week boot camp where women can fast track the startup process. So, what's next? I want to reach the masses. And by that, I mean from a grassroots perspective. I want women, local chapters of women supporting one another, asking the question, how can I help? What's your current challenge, and how can we as a community help you? And so going out and starting those local chapters is one of the things that's on my radar for the next 12 months. I also, Jackie, have this dream of starting a seed fund for women. So we know the average request, microloan request, is around $1,200. That's not that much money to unhinge women in their pursuit of changing the world. And so what I want to do is begin, releasing these $1,200 here to unhinge, $1,200 there, so that women can invest and have the capital, as small as it is, that they need to get going, just to get momentum moving. And then my dream is for it to be low interest, but self-funded. So women know that the interest on this microloan is going to feed the next generation of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to throw another event in September of 2023 here in Central Illinois again. And then down the road, I would love to expand those in-person events to other locations. Nashville sounds like a really good location to me. But yeah, I have this dream. And personally, I'm going through a big transition right now because I've got 24 hours in a day. And so I'm running this marketing business. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a Christ follower, and I'm feeling this squeeze of time. And so really trying to put priorities first, ask God, what do you want me to do? How do you see me impacting your people? And I'll tell you real quick, I have this analogy. It's called the trash truck analogy, and it's not beautiful, but it's very much how I feel God is leading my life. He is in the driver's seat. He is steering. When he turns, we turn. I'm the teammate on the back of the truck who, when we stop, I jump off. Not that my work is trash, don't read that much into it, but I take the can, I put it in the back, I set it back down, I jump back on the trash truck, and we move on with our day. And so doing his work through Founding Females, and really all that I do, has been one of the coolest, most fulfilling aspects of my faith growing over the last several years, because his plan is way better than I could ever imagine. And the people that he has allowed me to touch their lives and connect with and really grow from myself is just so beautiful.
I love it. Tell people how they can connect with you.
foundingfemalesco.com. We have all of our information about our communities. When we get local chapters up and running, that's where that will be. The book is there. But Founding Females Co. on Instagram is also a great place for direct connection. If somebody wants encouragement or wants to reach out through direct message, I'm on there. I run that account, so it's me. You'll reach on the other end. But those two places I think would be the best.
Okay, thank you for sharing that information. Now, before we end today's interview, what is the one thing you feel like the audience absolutely needs to take away from this? Out of everything that you said, what is the one thing they need to remember?
I think release control. Release control of what's next, and pray the prayer. What do you want? How can I serve you? How can I be your hands and feet here on earth? Because truly, we are so limited as people in our minds, and God can do so much. And so I would encourage them to stop and just to ask, How can I let you be in control? How can I let you number my steps? How can I let you direct my path? And I promise you the outcome is much more beautiful than we could ever devise.
CWS audience, she has given you a word. Release it, let it go, let God be in control. Start praying. How do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? And God will start leading you exactly where you need to be. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And until next time, beautiful people, God bless.